Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guest. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, everyone's talking about the Steam machine, Steam controller. The only one I care about, since I've got my rig here, is the Steam controller. So I'm going to see if I should replace my Xbox Elite whatever controller with that. The answer is probably yes. We get into some fat maxing, skinny phobic gibberish. We check out something called Project Ants, and and anyone who disagrees with you is a Yahtzee. Let's get into it. Oh, and then we might get into a deep dive on
Hey
this
there.
if there's a little time.
This video is a quick overview of what you'll find inside the Steam controller box, how to get started with it, and a quick look at some of the features. First, let's open it up. Inside, you'll find the all-new Steam controller, the Steam controller puck, which is both a wireless receiver and charging station, the USB-A to USB-C cable, and an information book. The puck is the fastest, most reliable way to play wirelessly. The easiest way to get playing is to connect the USB-C cable to your puck.
I do like, and maybe this is just me, the shape of it kind of looks like, and this is going to be kind of ridiculous. You remember the original design for the PlayStation 3 controller? That weird boomerang thing? This looks like they've somehow perfected that. And in the Xbox controller, and added these little things, like taking all the things that were good or decent or interesting ideas and put them into this, and hopefully it works out.
And then plug the other end of the cable into your PC. Steam does all the hard work to make sure your controller performs seamlessly when playing your games. Turn on the controller by pressing the Steam button. Your controller will automatically be connected wirelessly to your PC through the puck. The LED will be solid white when connected. Press the Steam button on the controller again to bring up Big Picture Mode, a controller-focused Steam interface. If you have a Steam Deck, this will look very familiar. Also, like the Steam Deck, we will be adding improvements and features with software updates. Make sure you install the newest firmware updates, especially when you first use the controller. When installing updates, the puck will update first. Once that's done, unplug the USB cable from your puck, then plug the cable into your Steam controller. Your Steam controller will start updating automatically. Once the update is finished, you can unplug the cable from your Steam controller and plug it back into your puck. Now go ahead and launch a game. The Steam controller has all...
I'm always a little leery when it comes to updates on something like this. On the one hand, if there's something wrong with it, or if there's something defective with any of the programming with your controller, that can be fixed, thankfully. But at the same time, I mean, just like anything else, one update, and they usually fix it pretty quick. But
all the normal gamepad controls that you're familiar with, including responsive, longer-lasting, next-generation magnetic thumbsticks. It also has a bunch of great advanced inputs to help you make the most of your gaming experience. 2 trackpads that can be customized for all sorts of uses, a gyro sensor, which allows moving your controller around for input, 4 grip buttons, which can be toggled on or off,
and obviously, and this always sounds weird when you say it out loud, I won't know until I have it in my hands. But it's just one of those things, man. Controller's a lot of things. It's got to be the perfect weight, the perfect feel, the perfect button placement, and so on and so forth. 1,000 different things could go wrong. That's why they put so much... Hey, good morning, Yanuka. So many things have to go right, and that's why they go through so much testing. And then knowing all that, and you see some of the things that they've come up with over the years. I don't know. This could be my new favorite one. It's going to take a lot to get used to the button placement if I do end up going this way. Because I like the Xbox controller better than the PlayStation controller, just in general. But we'll see.
Remapped to any functionality you'd like. And finally, 2 capacitive grip sensors on the handles to detect when your fingers are on the grips. The trackpads can be used in a variety of ways. They can be used as a mouse substitute to give you a more precise way to aim and control the camera, or a more intuitive way to play mouse-first games like deck builders and 4X.
And that's my biggest thing. That's why I think I will go with this with the trackpads, is just because it's almost the perfect fusion of, you know, keyboard and mouse and controller. There are certain things that are better with either. Obviously, precision with keyboard and mouse. We'll see if it gets to that level.
It can be used as a radial pop-up menu to give direct access to key inputs and fully customizable for countless possibilities. The capacitive grip sensors are a new kind of input to help improve gyro gameplay. It works by sensing whether your hands are touching the grips on the controller. If you extend your fingers away from the grip, the sensor will turn off. The sensitivity is customizable as well, so you can configure it to be as responsive as you'd like. It can be used as a way to ratchet while using gyro. Simply release your fingers to turn gyro off and reset your position back to center. In our gaming, we found that grip sense can be used for other things as well. For example, it can be used to bring up a weapon wheel or a map in-game with just the release of a finger. When you're finished, we made it super easy to charge back up. Just set the controller over your puck and it'll snap into place. The next time you want to use your controller, just grab it off the puck and press the Steam button to get going. To learn more about the Steam controller and its endless configuration possibilities, visit this link. We're so excited for you to get your hands on this controller and start playing. Have fun!
All right, I'm pretty excited about that. Like, the Steam machine looks really cool too, but again, I have a computer and there are things that it might not do that my computer would do. Even though if it did, like if you could stream from it and all that and still do all the things and run, yeah. I mean, that would be one thing, but it's something I'm going to look into. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
I have to say a huge thank you for insisting that there was diversity in this movie, in that run.
A long time,
Yes.
and none of it has worked. Speaking of, I don't know, Hitler, I don't know how to transition here.
Yeah, figured that one out.
Anne Hathaway.
How do you transition?
Yeah. So she was given this press tour for the Devil Wears Prada 2, and she decided that she wanted a certain type of model. When you think Prada, you think fashion couture.
Yeah.
Remember, like, do you guys remember this Fat Pride was a thing a while ago? For those of you who are new here, you may not know, because like Ozempic came out and all the Fat Pride representatives are gone now. Amy Schumer, Rebel Wilson, pretty much everybody.
Well, Lena Dunham's still out there chowing down.
That's
down
true.
The fort. She's still showing her face all the time.
Well, that's because she has nothing else to offer. She can't do anything else other than be gross. So, well, I guess I kind of just revealed it to you. It's not really a hint. Anne Hathaway wants more fatties.
Isn't it better when you see so many different types of bodies?
Yep.
Not all the time. That brings us to this week's Entertainment Minute.
Not my favorite.
And yes,
stinger,
I just let you, this is to clear the palate. It's going to be a little silly. It was a little intense yesterday. To be clear, we've never just made fun of someone for just like, hey, you're fat. But when people advocate for fat pride. When people advocate that all bodies are healthy and all bodies are equally beautiful, of course, we will, we'll stand on the side of all medical data, literature, science.
And when they're disingenuous,
yes.
Zero chance Anne Hathaway would be interested in this.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe a 2% chance.
If she had
I can't be charming.
If she had to choose between you or the big Hitler, she'd probably choose you.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Then again, I don't know. They like the bad boys.
Yeah.
It's gonna stick.
Don't you know it?
And and see, and like that's always been my thing. Like, I don't make fun of people for being fat unless they're dear friends of mine, or I really don't like them. But even so, I don't generally pick on people unless they're awful, unless they're the worst, unless they go out of their way to make everyone around them miserable. That's generally the only time that I will like lash out at somebody. Like if they're rude, and then clearly don't know about themselves to know that they're a fucking asshole. But no, and the fat pride thing has always just been ridiculous, and it shows, and it's not just this, but it's across a bunch of different things within a similar sphere. It's okay to be fat, 100%. You have freedom, you have the right to be whatever you want. And you have the right to, no one should make fun of you for existing the way that you want to exist. But when you start insisting that the whole world caters to you because you have no impulse control, and in most cases, let's be honest, there are cases to where people will have a much harder time losing weight because of genetics and so on and so forth. But that's very much not the majority of these cases. It's used and propped up so people have an excuse for themselves to, be fat or whatever. But when you start to insist that they completely revamp the rides at whatever theme park, whatever carnival, when you start to insist that people cater to you, and everyone will admit, airplanes, the seats are already too small. The aisles are already way too small. The bathrooms are very small. It's because you're on a very small thing that has to be aerodynamic. And you really don't have to fly. Except when I was in the military, I haven't even really been on a plane that much. And even when I was in the military, outside of military planes, I wasn't on a plane that much. Because I never really wanted to. You don't have to go to France. You don't have to go to all of these places. I mean, you can drive. I mean, if you're going from big city to big city, there's, trains and whatever. And they're much more comfortable and they're much more fitting for such things in those situations. But then when it started to be, fat pride, and people would start to pick on people and anyone who lost weight. Like I remember when Adele lost weight, people were sending her death threats saying she betrayed them because she either wanted to not be fat anymore or a doctor encouraged her to do so, or whatever her reason was. She has the same freedom to decide not to be fat as you did when you... Well, I mean, if you became fat, if you were always fat, that's one thing. Or the same, freedom you have to be who you are. I mean, and you can feel betrayed or whatever, but sending people death threats for bettering themselves or changing themselves or whatever you want to, however you want to label it, is retarded and selfish. Let's be honest on this. It's not hurting anyone. It doesn't hurt the movement. I was more bullied when I was thin than when I was fat. Exactly. I mean, people get bullied for being thin all the time too. And it just and it's usually comes from when you're being bullied for being thin. It usually comes from some fat bully. I mean, one of my bullies was fat. But I'm odd in that most of my bullies become my friends because it's hard to make fun of someone who's laughing and still talking shit to you while you're punching while I was being punched in the face. But anyway, we'll get into this a little further.
Wow, you're so big.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was the good guy, though.
So, red carpet interview, Anne Hathaway, because she decided she's not unlikable enough, decided to make this statement.
I've been a plus-size model and size inclusivity advocate for 15 years, and I have to say a huge thank you for insisting that there was diversity in this movie, in that runway show.
Well, there you go.
Why was that important to you?
Well, because I had seen that there were a lot of traditions.
I just want to say, have you noticed that, like, when an interviewer or a reporter is an activist as well, they always lean in uncomfortably close. It's just something I've noticed over time. They really lean in, like you better agree with this.
Traditionally sized models in our movie.
Traditionally sized.
I just know that
And I
this
wanted to
movie
look
is
good.
for everyone. And so I thought that it would be wonderful. And we also know in the last few years that the fashion industry can take a more inclusive approach to beauty standards.
hitting a
and I
wall.
think that we're all kind of happier when it's like that, when everybody feels included. So
Well, and the reason that's true is because the fashion industry is mostly full of elitist twats who have a really weird sense of what looks good anyway. No one really takes it seriously, okay? It's mostly just people going up there dressed as a pheasant or or wearing some kind of modern art piece that no one could ever really wear except for a similar event. Let's just be completely honest when it comes to that.
I just went up to the producers and said, hey, do you think that we could...
Wasn't it
and they
about
looked up and they
a
said,
mean fashion
we're
lady,
so
though?
embarrassed we didn't notice.
Right.
And of course, and within like 2 hours,
Isn't that it?
suddenly there were more girls there. And it just made me happy.
No, there weren't more girls. You just miscounted.
Yeah, the volume was up.
Yeah. This is the thing. It's so disingenuous. Like, how expensive is that dress? How many people worked on your makeup and hair? How many nutritionists and personal trainers? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. And I understand, of course, there are multiple sizes that can be within the bounds of health. The good news is that men don't have the unrealistic standards that you think we do. Men rate women on a very healthy bell curve when you look at the statistics. Women do not. They have unrealistic expectations.
This is very
And
true.
they're disingenuous about this. And everyone is, there's no difference. It's all, and they do everything they can to put their best foot forward. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just be honest about it. Also, it's okay. The world of high fashion isn't for everybody. It's not for me. It's not for all of us guys here who are like, but guess what? I don't lament it. I don't care. There are other things that I can do. Not all things are meant for all people. And you may not know this, but they have been trying to push the fat pride, the body positivity in high-end couture for a very long time, and none of it has worked. Which brings
and this really does feel like, because for years I remember everyone was just like, there are some people who liked the traditional runway model look for some reason. I don't know why. They all look like they're cracked out and just about ready to just fall over, to me at least. Like they're very, very frail, very like they look like you take off their hair and they look like golems. But it's really sad. A lot of these have been conditioned to be that way, and now it's gone the complete opposite, to where you see a bunch of people waddling down the runway or whatever, and they'll try to pass each other on the runway. I wonder how many people bounced off each other and fell off to either side before they realized we should probably wait until the one comes off before another one goes on. Is that mean? I apologize, but I don't know. And then it's when people started saying it's okay to be fat and started going into healthy at any size, which is where I really, really fell off, because that's just blatantly untrue. like it is. Okay. There are ways to be, I guess, healthy at any size if you have a good diet and you are active. But I've never understood, especially when you get to obese. How is it even comfortable? Like there has to be a better way. Yeah. I don't know. And Blair White, before she went nuts, put out a video where she was going from fat influencer to fat influencer on, and it was just like, hey guys, are you ready to do this? Yeah, she died. Yeah, he died too. Which she can't do because he died. They all died very, very young. And not from natural causes, from complications of being horribly fat and unhealthy, because a lot of them would just gourd themselves on screen for clicks, and it's horribly sad. Yeah, they were kind of well-known or famous or whatever you want to call it for a little bit, but at what cost? I mean, these people aren't going to be remembered like River Phoenix. They're just going to be known, or it just forgotten in a sea of other hapless dipshits like myself and others who are just, all trying to make a mark or just doing it for funsies or whatever. But, I mean, there's so many people who are making money from just this. Percentage-wise, not as many as you'd think, but there's still a lot. Like, there's probably as many people doing something like this as there are in the military.
Brings us to this week's Fat Couture brand 7+1.
I do like this sticker.
You forgot Stefan in the chamber!
7+1
I don't know why
Fat Couture brands you may not have heard of.
No.
Number 7. You know what, Josh Firestone, let's you do the honors. Number 7, Fat
I
Couture
actually
brands.
modeled for these guys.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, but Abercrombie and Lunch.
Yes, that was, well.
Yeah. And get your denim and sandwiches.
Yeah, he's happy. 7+1 Fat Couture
crew
brands. Number
stupid
6, Kenneth Cold Cuts. Kenneth Cold Cuts.
It's going to need more material for that jacket.
I will say, there are certain things that I do love AI for, and this is absolutely one of them.
7+1.
Got a window with those nipples.
High-end fashion couture. I don't know what all those words mean, so I'm combining them. Brands. Number 5, Captain Morgan.
Fart Jacobs.
Oh, well, that's just, it's the fermenting food.
It's like too much kombucha for that guy.
Yes. Number 4,
Yes.
Louis Vuitton's a fun. Louis Vuitton's a fun.
There you go.
Is that the same guy? He gets
Some
a
of
lot
these
of
are a
work.
bit extra.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of
The Anne
work.
Hathaway of these
Belly
guys.
button piercing?
Number 3, Captain Morgan. Say it as it needs to be.
Clinically obese.
Clinically obese.
Are we sure that's a woman?
It's still a good ad.
I don't know what Fart
It's
Jacobs
still a
is.
good ad.
Yeah, that's right. I can see that on a Macy's counter.
I mean, that's gross, but pretty funny.
What are you talking about? Larger people, they tend to be gassy. I've seen the clumps.
It's true.
Yeah, well, it's not a secret. It's diet-based.
I had friends in the family, they were all overweight, and no joke, they walked out of the Nutty Professor because they took offense to it. I'm like, that is an admission. You shouldn't tell anybody that.
Hey, at least they walked. Hey, fun fact, the Washington Post did a study. Turns out women have stinkier farts.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, men have more fart.
Yeah, we do.
They have more gas, but the smell is stinkier from the woman. That's not from me, it's from the Washington Post.
I don't know that I believe that.
It's the Washington Post. They never lie.
7+1 Fat Couture brands. Number 2, Josh.
Versace's Puffs.
Versace's. Oh.
That was pretty good.
And the number 1 high-end Fat Couture brand, Balenciaga. God, I'm having a heart attack. And the +1, Jimmy doesn't chew. That's been this week's 7+1.
Oh, God.
I would have done something like Vidal Forboom, but
You forgot Stefan in the chamber!
You have to chew your Food.
We didn't let that last one breathe enough.
No, that's why I just wanted, people. Hey, it's one of them what you call Easter eggs, or for the fat pride people, Cadbury eggs.
Go back and go back and pause it like it's the whole 9 yards.
You know what's silly is that whenever we sit down to write a 7+1, if it's fat themed, we all laugh more. We're children.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there like, Bart Jacobs.
I put a sandwich in his hand. Yeah.
He does look like he ate cold cuts. And it took hours. Oh, you're still here.
Hold on, real quick. Looks like Mahler and Matt Jarbo. I forget what his old handle was. I know he does $3 Theater now, but I think he was Mundane Matt. I think it was back in the Gamergate days. But it starts off the Marvel's a coffin for the MCU. He posted his own video, to which Jarbo says, "It's been over a year and a half since the Marvels came out. None of the main characters are involved in Avengers Doomsday, but hey, keep beating the dead horse." Which is funny considering that's pretty much what Matt Jarbo's career is. It's a dead horse. He's only basically flipped on everything since he, like I said, he was involved in some kind of scandal. I don't remember because honestly, he was never really that important. But yeah, anyway, continuing. And then Mahler responds, I'm honestly fascinated that the Boulder King is so invested in my work, but I appreciate it all the same. As for being 2.5 years after the film release, I guess I just don't care. I release my videos when they are completed. And as for the purpose, the video was about how the film was made, what Disney said of its creation, what the writers, director, and producers marketed it as, versus ditched it as. Once the box office was revealed. Sorry, I'm not awake yet. What the writers, the sheer scale of talent in the crew that was wasted, the confusion of the idea that created a story like this, the reason it doesn't resonate with audiences, the lack of work it does for its characters, the way they moved Brie Larson in as the new Avengers lead, only to move her back out, the themes, the meanings, and the potential to be better had they taken this seriously while trying to find the rot at the heart of the story like this. The idea is this major failure facilitates the changes in approach that now govern the newest entire entries in the MCU. I'm so not awake right now. Reaching its zenith with Doomsday. I tried to pace it well, I tried to make it funny, I wanted snappy editing, I looked through countless sources for information, and I think it turned out neat. Give it a chance, Mr. Jarbo, and you may have some fun. Fairly calm, we'll give that a like. To which Jarboner over here said, "Holy shit, you're triggered. I think you're a terrible person who seeks to destroy art rather than to uplift it." This is a take. This guy must be trying to make a movie like Stuckman. You nitpick to the point of making CinemaSins seem like someone with only mild autism, and you hang out with people that are quite frankly just attempting to destroy the medium you all claim to love. That's a take. If I could say anything to you that makes you respond like a girl with a skinned knee, well, that's just sexist, Mr. Jarbo. I thought you were above that kind of thing. You are a charlatan who hides behind an anonymous avatar, hell-bent on using rage bait in order to push agendas that only make you money, but don't actually further any kind of legit criticism. That's kind of the edgelord calling the shitbag fuck. Anyway, not my best. But 12-hour live streams where you nitpick other people's content is not art, nor is it critique of art. I mean, it is, though. It's definitely the second one. It's just boring. Then don't watch it. Because I don't watch it. I couldn't sit through a slog of 12 hours. I'm sure I could. Mahler he's an interesting guy. I like some of his stuff, but 12 hours, if that's actually... No. I mean, I'm good. I'm sure he's got fans that do it. Otherwise, why would he do it? Because that's what you ultimately are, is boring. So boring that you have to have a spat with him online like this. Your response to one of my off comments, to my one off comment, proves that I'm the mark and that I've triggered you just enough to where you'll feel it long after you've read it. You're definitely overestimating your worth. And this is the funny thing is that Matt Jarbo, he hasn't been relevant in like 12 years. On the internet and in the sphere particularly, that's like an epoch. That's like it's like you know, C-tier actors, those guys who were just barely above porn, but there's like no like nudity or anything. That's basically the level that Matt Jarbo is. But think of it as like you're thinking back in the Sinatra days when the Rat Pack was big. Think of whoever a C-level actor is right now, and think of someone from back then. You can't do it, even if you were alive back then, because no one cares. That's basically Matt Jarbo, and he's somehow latched himself on just throwing out shit insults on X to try to remain relevant or find some relevance again. After completely losing his base when he did a complete 180 and went the other way with it. I can't even remember what it was about. He just completely flipped. Maybe I should look into it just so I can speak further on it. I just remember there was a scandal, and then he completely flipped, and everyone was just like, oh, I guess he was just a grifter, edgelord. And I think actually he might be the first person I recall someone referring to him as a grifter, because that's all he's ever really been. And then he says, you are Matt Jarbo. I cannot insult you further than God already has. Which is a good point and a nice little stamp on this whole little back and forth. Look, I don't watch Mahler. I'll see him sometimes when he's on the open bar, little podcast with the Critical Drinker. But other than that, I don't really give a shit.
Beneath the earth, something stirs.
An ant. His name is Flick.
Waits.
Alright, pause for the cause. Okay, so again, this is called Project Ants. It's a Metroidvania, vertical platforming, and tactical. Set in the fallen insect kingdom, you play as an ant warrior on a quest. This actually looks like it might be dope. Anthem, or Ant-Team. Again, sorry, I can't read this one. Whatever. I like what they did with the antennae. Yo, this looks like it might actually be my speed. Okay, pause for the cause again. This might... Yo, as long... I could care less about the story. As long as the gameplay is good and it's like it's buttery smooth, as far as I don't even know what you call, like the movement is like smooth, you know what I'm saying? Good animations and whatnot. I could get down with this. I'm not much for Metroidvanias. I really suck at them. He looks kind of cool. As long as there's some special thing where he pops his extra 2 legs or arms out. That's all I need. Again, it's not peak graphics. It doesn't have to be. It looks like it's got some fun, smooth gameplay. that is... All right. All right. I will say, sold, probably not for a $60 game, but I could definitely get down on this giggity. If it were maybe a $40 game, that could probably be something we get into. But let's continue.
Yesterday. And yesterday we were primarily dealing with the Marxist right. Because we're at a time in this country where it should be a COVID-like situation. And by that I mean people waking up and seeing the left for what they are. And in this instance, that should be the left's violent rhetoric, their violent worldview inherently, and the results therein, which we have seen. Instead, the goalposts keep getting shifted, and people are talking about impeaching Donald Trump. There is a direct line to the left's rhetoric, the left's calls to action, the left knowingly lying, the labels they apply, and acts of violence. Since President Trump's the assassination attempt against him, I don't want to say his first assassination attempt.
No.
2024, July, there has been at least one high-profile leftist political attack every 7 weeks. Let me put a finer point on this. Here's why. Because these people, whether it's Cole Thomas Allen, or whether it's Luigi Mangione, whether it's, take your pick, they believe that they are going to be the savior to democracy. They believe that democracy is teetering on the edge of extinction. They believe that that is due to Donald Trump, and they believe that they will save it. Why? Because that's what the left tells them. This isn't one person out of context, for example, saying target these districts to vote them out.
Right.
This isn't one person saying fight like hell. Remember that, where they said that was violent rhetoric? This is person after person after person of note or in a position of authority referring to President Trump and many of his supporters and his administration as...
Hold on, stand by. Real quick. So I don't know if you know, but over the last day or two, a lot of people, the feds have basically been raiding. They raided the Quality Leering Center in Minneapolis. And there's going to be a lot of arrests. And then Tim Walz here trying to, if you commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to get caught. And that's exactly what we saw today. We catch criminals when state and federal agencies share information. Joint investigations, work, and securing justice depends on it. To which a community note was posted with the source, of course, because you have to. I do community notes now. And they have to be accurate or else they take it from you. Tim Walz and Keith Ellison were very much aware of widespread fraud for years, since at least 2019, and didn't take action on the fraud to protect taxpayer dollars, as revealed in statements by whistleblowers employed by the state of Minnesota. And then you have this meow. Oh, hey, look at that. The stuff that was put out by the Committee on Oversight. Look at that there. Okay. Mr. Walz continues. Today's raids by state and local law enforcement happened because our state agencies caught irregular behavior. I don't know, I'm going into Peter Griffin now. And reported it. That's how the system is supposed to work, and our agencies will keep at it as long as there are fraudsters around to put behind bars. I don't know why I'm making him into a fat Cohoggian man, but I'm just going to talk normal now. Now let's work on a joint investigation to the killing of Alex Preddy and Renee Good instead of cherry picking when we seek justice and when we turn a blind eye. There's video. There's literal video. Like you can agree or disagree whether or not you think the ICE raids or the ICE involvement that was exactly the same, conducted by the same person, by the way, Tom Holman, during the Obama days. You can talk about whether or not you think it's a good thing, or, but like I said, there's video. You can see the whole thing. You can see video of Alex Preddy on several different occasions while armed. He wasn't brandishing his firearm, no. And do I think it was mishandled by ICE? Absolutely. We can have those discussions, but at the same time, when you're being attacked by people who are being emboldened by people like dipshit Governor Tim Walz, they're being emboldened to attack federal authorities, to interfere with their operations and investigations. It's like what are we even talking about here, man? Like, is it tragic that they died? Sure. But you literally see video of her pulling in front of the convoy and then acting all, I don't know. And then as the cop goes in front, her girlfriend says, "Go, baby, go." And you see her peel out. Now, should the cop have gone in front of the car? No, he's a dipshit. But at the same time, if you can't handle fully committing to whatever cause that you're going for, if you're actually afraid to get arrested when you take such actions, because when you take these actions, especially if your face is uncovered, you're going to get arrested. It's going to happen. Do I feel bad for her kids? Yes, of course. I'm not a monster, but I felt bad for them just as much before as I do after. And the same for Preddy. He assaulted people. And you could say that whatever, they were trying to get the lady out of the street, they knocked her over, they were a bit too aggressive with her. Yes, and that's a conversation that we could have. However, as a civilian, you do not engage the police because you think they're doing something horrible, or else you document it with video, because we all have these little cameras in our pockets. You videotape. You document it. You make sure you get whatever information you can about them, whether it be the vehicle, whether it be their face, their names, if they have any identification on them, whatever. And you go from there. Otherwise, you're going to be the story because you were too stupid, too self-aggrandizing, too want to be macho, too mentally ill, whatever the fucking reason is. And now he's... Hey, thanks, OwnKick, D82. I appreciate it. But it's, oh, okay. Well, I appreciate the engagement anyway, bud. But it doesn't make any sense. And I love this person who's Quality Leering Center. I'm a little jealous. I should have branded myself better, sure, but... And I love how the usual suspects are here. I'm not a huge Smash fan. He seems like a decent enough guy, but... Oh, hey, you've got friends. And then, of course, Tim Walz taking pictures with fraudsters. I understand he can't do a thorough investigation on everyone he interacts with, but just, come on, dude.
Fascist, murderers, rape.
No, exactly. And it's horrible. Look, again, I'm not the hugest fan of BB, but at the same time, I mean, when you're constantly in a wartime scenario of sorts, like I know it's not like most places who are seeing constant combat in Israel, or at least from my understanding, it's not exactly what you would expect. It kind of feels like living on a fob in like Afghanistan or something, like when the U.S. military was there. It feels kind of like that, which, you know, sometimes it almost feels normal, and then, you know, things happen. I'm sure it's much worse there because it's more constant, and then, of course, the horrible events of October 7th, which Hassan Piker not only is cool with, but he wants more, and he makes excuses for the horrible things that have nothing to do with any kind of actual war thing. They're just human atrocities. But he won't speak on that, and he'll actually make excuses for it. But then you'll see him weeping for people who will shoot rockets and then cover themselves in a blanket made of small children. And then people will be like, oh, they bombed a school. Well, people are holed up in schools. They fire rockets. People see where rockets come from, and then they fire where rockets come from. It's horrible. But the fact that most of the people who are killed in Gaza are militants, again, a vast majority, it speaks volumes. Because if Israel really wanted to cause some sort of genocide, they could, an actual genocide. But they don't. There are plenty of Muslims who live within the walls of Israel. From my understanding, again, I have a couple friends who have lived there. I have a couple friends who have been there. It's probably the most diverse place in the Middle East, if we're being completely honest. And the fact that we pretend that this is all because the Gazans are Muslim it's fantasy. It just is. Because if that were the case, there would be no people I still have empathy for. No, of course. Like you, and that's what I'm saying though, is like you feel empathy for the children who are put in harm's way. And you'll even see video of them lining kids up nearby a firing zone, and the guy will light whatever projectile and run off and leave all the kids there, setting these poor kids up just to be bodies, just to get dipshit American students and such to take their side on things. I've never understood, like on some things, like even if it were true, even if Israel was everything that everyone ever says that they are, whether it be Nick Fuentes or the left, does that really mean that Hamas and the Iranian Ayatollah and their forces are the good guys in this situation? And that's my thing. One, it's not true. People make up all kinds of things. Just look at anything Candace Owens says ever. Egyptian planes are following Erica Kirk around. Oh, and then Tucker Carlson. Oh, we can't make fun of people's religion. Oh, to make fun of religion is to make a religion is to make fun of religion itself. Oh, it's it's absolutely retarded, especially when you see what they were saying even 2-3 years ago. To do a complete flip. It's just absolutely insane. But anyway, sorry. Tangent over.
Rapists, pedophiles, Nazis, all of these. So what do you do with Nazis? We've talked about that. What do you do with actual Nazis? You kill them. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with the Allies killing Nazis, those who were actually sending people to concentration camps, just like I have no problem with Allies or anyone killing communists. I get it. That's how you have to deal with them. You have a huge portion of people who believe that about half of the voting population, and certainly this administration. In case you are still wondering as to, well, is there a direct path? Here you go. Here's a supercut. I don't think we need to say more, but we will.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
The former president, a rapist.
Donald Trump speaks about immigrants with the same rhetoric that Hitler did.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
Nazis.
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 Nazi.
Nazi.
If your friends are concerned with authoritarianism, they should be concerned with the occupant of the White House right now.
Donald Trump raping children. Donald Trump threatening to kill children.
You don't care that the president might be a pedophile?
He is a dictator.
The president is a racist.
Kissing the ring of the wannabe dictator.
Is a convicted felon.
As aspiring presidential dictators go, he is simply in a class by himself.
I believe we're on the path that Nazi Germany went down under Hitler, and I say that as a political science and history major.
He has built...
You say that as some dipshit in his living room.
A whole presidency on race.
A racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Like, in the core of his being, he's a racist.
He's a con man.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Now I know the left will defend that and say, it's just it's a language barrier. No.
I would argue we don't need language barriers from our congresswomen.
That's a good point also.
And it's not even so much that. It's the fact that, like, look at this. She took a double take. Let's just be real.
World War XI. Used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Like, she
now
looked
I know
at
the
it
left will defend that and say, it's just
paused. And
it's a language barrier. No.
It's
now,
I would argue we don't need language barriers from our congresswomen.
That's a good point also.
I mean, call me crazy and old-fashioned.
Yeah, also we don't need that much inbreeding. Now,
yeah, we don't need it.
Keep in mind, so you just heard it. Nazi, fascist, dictator, I believe autocrat was used, if not in that montage, it certainly has been. Rapist, murderer, felon, danger to democracy. Now compare that to the fact that we were actually banned before an election stream because the worst thing that I said about Kamala Harris was that she was dumb, and I believe that she was a whore, rightfully so, who slept her way into office. So compare all of the rhetoric of the left that is allowed to go on completely unfettered to this was a bannable offense. I've referred to Kamala Harris as a lying whore, but to be clear, it's only because she's lied and she had sex with people for political gain. So by definition, but that's not encouraging any type of assassination. We all know many lying whores. Some of them are very nice people. Once you sort of cafeteria compartmentalize out the lying whoredom, it's true. I knew a tremendous lying whore in college. Not intimately.
No.
I knew
she was tremendous?
Yes.
She was very nice. She was a lying whore. You just didn't want to rely on her because, she would lie and do whore things.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. We have, multiple assassination attempts, and obviously we've seen successful assassinations. I use that term. I hate to use that term, but assassinations that were carried out. We saw that with Charlie Kirk. We've had to deal with this for a very long time. The latest one was just charged, finally, with attempted assassination. That was in pretty much record time. He thought he would go down in history as a savior to democracy. Instead, he got this photo shoot. That's about all he got.
How embarrassing. You wanted to assassinate the president, you end up looking like you're from Chipotle.
Do they have him in a space camp blanket?
I mean, they're trying to keep him warm, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they stripped him of his clothes, I believe, because he had weapons and stuff, and then they kept him warm and covered.
So,
stupid.
But here's the thing. I also understand. I understand why he thought that. If I was him, I would think, the left is going to have my back. Right? They believe that this is a Nazi, this is a fascist. They believe this person's a threat to democracy. They'll be grateful for me taking away that threat to democracy.
He saw all the chicks line up for Luigi Mangione. He thought, this is how I'm going to get laid.
It doesn't exactly apply across the board.
Hello, conjugal visits.
And you let me know if you get in their mindset, it makes sense. It makes sense with the kind of warped logic that they have. This is not a logical leap that we have to make. You can comment below. We'll be talking about this quite a bit. And Caroline Leavitt addressed this trend at yesterday's presser.
Nobody in recent years has faced more bullets and more violence than President Trump. This political violence stems from a systemic demonization of him and his supporters by commentators, yes, by elected members of the Democrat Party, and even some in the media. This hateful and constant and violent rhetoric directed at President Trump day after day after day for 11 years has helped to legitimize this violence and bring us to this dark moment. Those who constantly falsely label and slander the president as a fascist, as a threat to democracy, and compare him to Hitler to score political points are fueling this kind of violence. The left-wing cult of hatred against the president and all of those who support him and work for him has gotten multiple people hurt and killed.
Yeah, and by the way, at least 4 attempts that we know of on President Trump's life.
Yeah.
There's been at least one high-profile leftist political attack at large every 7 weeks since the first attempt.
Yeah. And this is the totality of it. What she's talking about is the repetition of this. It's not some one-off claim by AOC or Bernie or somebody else just trying to score political points or try to get more votes. It's over and over and over by everybody in the media, in Democratic establishment, just being echoed over and over again. Of course, it starts to sink into people and go, well, this must be true. Everybody is saying it.
Right.
Not once, 100 times,
It's not
1,000
happenstance.
times.
It is the playbook.
Yeah.
It is the playbook. If they can't make you out to be an idiot, like they did with George W. Bush, or they did with Dan Quayle, they kind of did that with Ronald Reagan, then they make you out to be evil.
Yeah.
And I have consistently said whether someone is an idiot, Kamala Harris, or you might say evil if they're sharp, it's just Marxism.
Dude, and I'll say this. I'm all for trolling or whatever. But this guy here said little blocked me because I posted his address online, and then he posted his address again. Don't dox people. What are you doing? That's don't do it. Neither side should do this. If you do stupid, awful stuff like this, then you're just no better than the people you're going after. Like, what's the purpose of that if not to send someone to their house to find them, to jump them, or to harass them at home? No one deserves that. That's horrible. Do I think they're horrible? Absolutely. They're terrible people, and they promote a lot of hate in the world. But don't dox them.
It's Marxism, and I believe that it is an evil ideology. I believe that it has leftists under their spell. They don't know that they're doing evil, but I believe that the theft of people's personal property through the use of force, not to mention transitioning children and the Holocaust that we have seen in babies, I do believe that it's an evil ideology. I don't shy away from that. There's a difference between discussing those differences and saying these people, this person is a threat to democracy uniquely. Let's go to some more examples here of people doubling down because they have to answer for it now. That's good, but they don't answer for it. Hakeem Jeffries, he answered this question, well, political, it's all bad, right? The rhetoric is bad, full stop, but, and then does it.
What are you advising your members to do about rhetoric right now that you can criticize the president without facing GOP criticism?
Political violence in any form directed at anyone, whether that's the right, the left, or the center, is unacceptable. Period.
Good.
Full stop.
Got it.
The notion
here he goes.
Any of us are concerned with so-called criticism from these phony Republicans as it relates to anything that has been said, certainly as it relates to the comment related to maximum warfare everywhere, all the time, in connection with the redistricting battle that Republicans launched. I stand by it.
They didn't launch this. Gerrymandering's been going on for years. Was what the Republicans did in Texas wrong? Absolutely. Was it as bad as what they tried to do in Virginia? No, that's why it got shut down in Virginia, because it was completely unconstitutional. Was it unheard of in Texas? Yeah. Was it better in Virginia because people voted for it? No, because if you actually look at the ballot, which is what normies do, people who aren't, constantly online talking about this kind of shit. On the ballot, they just said it was like the Save Virginia or Make Your Vote Count Act or some shit. I can't remember what it was exactly, but yeah, that's, and I don't like that they're doing it in Florida either. But just like I've pointed out on this channel over the last couple of weeks, the districts made by the conservatives look a lot better. Now, if the Democrats wouldn't make just a bunch of spaghetti noodles for districts and would make them a bit more, I don't know, district shaped, like, some kind of almost perfectly round or almost perfectly square block, then yeah, I could get down with that. Or something with just like even a little jagged serrated edge, like the Arkansas Mississippi border that's on the Mississippi River. where pretty much the river is the border, even that would be acceptable. But no, we're talking, like I said, giant anteater snouts just draped through the damn state. And the conservative ones are like square. They look like they actually went through and did it correctly. Do I like either one of them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it makes it hard to criticize them and to stand with the Democrat side, which has been my issue for the last 10 or 15 years. I'm just sitting here just like, guys, come on, I'm on your side, but what are we doing? I've said that for a very long time, which is why I have no friends. It's just like, and people are like, oh, you think you're so perfect. No, I don't, by all means. If Adam or if Alfie fuck up, tell Alfie. If Alfie fuck up, tell Alfie fucked up. Alfie do same for you because he friend and he not want you be hurt or be mad. What are we even talking about?
You can continue to criticize me for it. I don't give a damn about your criticism.
Where's Blade when you need him? Figuratively. See, that's a joke. They actually engage. Maximum warfare. We compare that in the montage you just saw to Fight Like Hell. Because I know people say, well, both sides do it. No, they don't.
Speaking of maximum warfare.
That nigga touched a female. You relax, nigga. He just touched a girl.
He's so tough. You see how he's making his voice deep and he's holding his hands behind his back as he gets in some guy that's twice his size's face.
Bro, that nigga's just crazy.
And he doesn't know how to throw a punch. And he's looking around, seeing people are falling for this stupid shit.
You gonna hurt me? You're not gonna do shit, nigga. That nigga touched a female. How the fuck you wanna touch a female, nigga? Touch me. Touch me then. Fuck. That nigga's touching females, touch me. Touch me, nigga.
Yeah, they're so cute at this age.
He goes, oh. Because we ran you a montage of plenty of people on the left saying fight like hell. It's an expression that's used. It's a colloquialism. People know that fight like hell doesn't mean physically fight or go assault somebody, especially in the context that it was used, especially when he said, make your voices peaceful.
Okay, sorry, real quick. So they're asking, why is he letting this dude just punch him in the face? Because schools these days are stupid, as I've learned from my friends who have kids. If you fight back, you'll both be punished. Or you'll be punished and punished more and only. Most of the time. Because schools are stupid. They have no tolerance for any fighting.
Hey, yo, bro, you good? I'm not gonna lie, you gotta beat the shit out of him. Hey, yo, bro, you good?
Follow KO
and it's sad
Fights for more videos
because
like
this
these.
kid either can't fight back, and this dude's just a punk. I mean, look at him. He's just a little fat kid. And he's beating up this white kid with a little fluffy fro because he knows the dude's not going to fight back. Either he's timid or whatever reason it could be. It's fucked up.
Yo, Pedro.
He's choking him out. There's a good dude right there. But look at this. Look at this brave little soldier right here, though. Like, look, he's not flinching. He's not crying. He's just sitting there acting like nothing happened. This stuff probably happens to him all the time. And it's sad. And again, schools have zero tolerance. And real quick, and this irritates the piss out of me. The teacher ain't really doing nothing.
You got that?
She didn't even intervene or nothing. Sat there and let it happen.
Hey, yo, bro, you good? I'm not gonna lie, you gotta beat the shit out of him.
And this kid next to him said what most friends or even just, dudes sitting next to you would say. Hey, man, are you good? I ain't gonna lie, you gotta beat the shit out of. Which is a take, but the kid handled it the most appropriate way you can without getting in trouble in schools today, which means use your face to absorb all those punches, and hopefully your brain don't get shook around too much. Because schools are awful, and despite swearing to be anti-bully, they seem to promote a lot of bullying and let a lot of bullies get away with shit. Continue.
Peacefully and patriotically heard. Compare this rhetoric to fight like hell, because that was one of the reasons for impeachment. And so what do? They espouse this evil rhetoric. That's really the only way to say it.
Maximum warfare is too violent for a Call of Duty title.
Yeah, exactly. Let's call it like
modern warfare or something, not like maximum warfare. That's going to make kids into shooters.
We're going to go with minimum effective dose of warfare.
Reasonable use of warfare.
And then when they're called on it, they either do what Hakeem Jeffries did. Now, he's an idiot. So is AOC. They just play dumb. They go, what? I don't know. Fascist, Nazi, rapist, murder. What did I say? I don't know. Did I say that?
What do you say to the White House and the president who have been very critical of Democrats' rhetoric in the aftermath?
To what specifically?
I mean, they've been saying that your rhetoric from Democrats is what's causing
and she said what specifically, and you just keep going with, just words and stuff. Like, give people specific examples. You can't just come with broad statements when you ask politicians questions. You're not good at your job.
Presumably, come and try to exact violence at folks on the right.
Yeah, I would be interested in them actually saying what exactly is inciting that, right?
We will.
Yeah, don't worry.
When you have people committing crimes in...
Or you, the reporter, asking a politician a question, be specific. Don't give a vague, generic question, and they won't give you vague, generic answers. This is true of both sides. Stop softballing the party that you agree with and give them the same level of questions you would give the other side. I don't care. You're supposed to be unbiased. I know these days all news sources are biased. Fox News is very clearly right. CNN and MSNBC is very clearly left. We all know these things. And there's another conservative news network. I don't know what it's called. I think it's new-ish. Newsmax. Newsmax is what it is, I think.
Office, we have an obligation to say that someone is committing a crime in office.
Like insider trading?
That includes the President of the United States. Trying to use an opportunity to escape any accountability for any actions is just not a responsible course of action.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
No.
Fair.
And people will be more offended at that.
Newsmax
First
and
off,
whatever own
use an
OA
opportunity.
is.
If it's the fourth time that someone tries to take your life and gets close, are you really using an opportunity, or is it an appropriate time to maybe point out a pattern? Like, these people who are professional victims, to use it. Like, no one was... The left doesn't care until you're actually dead. I've had this. You can go watch Change My Minds, where people have thrown things at me. Well, it could be concrete milkshake, could be chocolate vanilla acid. I've talked about it. One guy stole a homeless man's pencil case, like a lunchbox, and whipped it at me. And the lady sitting there goes, "You're fine. You didn't get hurt." Oh, so I have to be hemorrhaging for it to matter?
Also, there's a homeless guy that no one cares about.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Lost his lunch. What the hell?
Lost his Crayolas.
Probably went on a killing spree because of it.
Also, I have to disagree.
Banksy.
They don't care when you die. It's you're fine. You deserved it.
Right. You know what? That's a very good point. That's true for most of them. And I'll tell you what, she said, if someone were to point me to it, well, good news is this is a show that gives you all the references every single day. Check the link in the description, 11 a.m. Eastern, when we stream weekdays. What is overpaying on your taxes?
Not out.
Here you go, AOC. Remember these, bitch?
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border. And that is exactly what they are.
It's not.
They are concentration
It wasn't
camps.
then,
I want
it's
to talk to the people that are concerned enough with humanity to say that we should not, that never again means something.
The vast majority of incidents of domestic terror come from white nationalism, and that we are really truly facing an environment of fascism.
Donald Trump is also very old and a racist and a neo-Nazi. I don't care what Elon Musk is doing behind a presidential seal. In this country, we hate Nazis. Let me make myself clear.
What?
I don't celebrate rapists. So no, I'm not going to the inauguration tomorrow.
And if Donald Trump wants to find the rapists and criminals in this country, he needs to look in a mirror today.
It's not about progressive, it's not moderate, it's not liberal. This is about, do you understand the assignment of fighting fascism right now? I would not say that assassinating a young mother of 3 in the street is part of ICE's mandate.
One, that's not happened. And two, these words stop having meaning. Okay, if you misuse, and it's like boy who cried wolf, it's boy who cried fascist. If you keep misusing these words, and has Trump tried to do things that are beyond the power of the president? Yes. And he's been stopped by his own Supreme Court. People he put into office. Because that's what they're there to do. The Supreme Court, the Congress, Senate, whatever. They're doing their job. President tried to do thing not allowed for president do. Judicial and legislative branch do what they do. Okay? Same thing where the president can veto a bill that they try to put through. Like, did any of you guys ever take a politics, social studies, whatever class? Ever. I took civics in the 9th grade, and I'm from a backward state. Ever. What are we talking about?
Did I say that? Is that that's not rhetoric that might lead to violence, is it? Like, what's the sentence for rapists and genocide? Oh, it's the death penalty. Maybe that was imprudent.
She made a good point. We should get rid of the gas chambers on the southern border.
Yes. Yeah. The ones that she didn't see because she took a photo op looking into a parking lot.
Yeah, those ones.
At least she didn't have the fake handcuffs that time. There's no
and this is one reason why I don't take AOC seriously. She's pretended to be handcuffed because it's all about clout. There are very few politicians working today that don't care about clout. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Rand Paul. And a lot of people are going to cringe when I say that, but I still think he's a good guy. Do I agree with some of the things that he does? I mean, some. Do I agree with all the things he does? No. I agree with quite a bit, but I respect the man for doing what he does, regardless of whether it gets him good or bad press. Okay? He's not standing there like Thomas Massey trying to get like hugs and high fives and shit. He does what he does. And I respect him for that. I don't think I ever be able to forgive leftists for making Nazis sound like a... Well, and even so, like... And there's two reasons why calling your political opposition Nazis is horrible for mankind. One... It makes everyone who agrees with you fucking retarded, okay? You will think that something... It spits and dances on the grave of people who suffered at the hands of actual Nazis. One, because nothing that is happening in America right now is anything remotely close. Has there been? Yes. We've put Vietnamese citizens in basically concentration camps. We put them in basically concentration camps, okay? We did similar with Japanese Americans around World War II time. This country has a lot of blood on its hands, and I'm more than happy to say anything whenever these things happen. But that's not what's happening now, Okay, there's nothing fascistic going on when it comes to America right this moment. Is it possible? Yes, it's just as possible for either side to do it. But it's also bad to call the right Nazis, because a lot of dipshit people on the right are going to be like, oh, is this what Nazism is? Oh, that just seems so bad. And then you get a lot of dipshits going and being Nick Fuentes fans, okay? Like, they'd be like, oh, everyone says this guy's a Nazi, and they call Trump a Nazi. I like some of the stuff that he does. Maybe I'm a Nazi. Maybe I am a Nazi. There's a lot of fucking retards on either side of the political spectrum, okay? Sorry, this is one of the few things that actually irritates me. Is just if you just kind of waft away and you call anyone who disagrees with you a Nazi, even if it's on something small. Like, you don't think that you should cut kids' dicks off or give them hormones. Oh, Nazi. Okay, sure. But the right, when they do something that you don't like, I don't know, there's a lot of things that the right does that I don't like either. When they pretend to care about stuff and they don't pass actual legislation, they just make sure that you enforce the laws on the books, because the left never does anything about things either. They just kind of ignore the laws that are on the books. And then they talk about how they're all for law enforcement, but they ignore laws that are on the books. They don't ever change the laws to make those things legal, because that would be too much work. We just won't arrest anyone. We won't push charges on people. And then the right will come in, and then they'll just, do the laws on the books. That's the biggest thing. I know I started off talking shit about the right, and then I ended up talking shit on the left. But I reminded myself about something mid-sentence. Have I told you I'm autistic? I probably am. At least more than those girls that say they're autistic on Instagram. But that being said, guys, I'm going to stop it there. I've gone over time because I got on here late, and yeah, I talked for fucking ever. I only had like 35 minutes of video, and I've been talking for almost an hour and 20 minutes. So that's going to be it for today. I appreciate everyone who stopped in. Yanuka, my new regular. I apologize if I'm getting your name wrong. I'm from the South of America, not South America, but the South of the United States. Forgive me, we're uncultured people. But I appreciate you coming by. My new regular. I miss the rest of my regulars. I haven't seen Shapeshifter in a bit, or Lord Evil Sizer or anything like that. But it is what it is. People pop in and pop out. It's all about it. But y'all have a fantastic day. As always, this has been Alfie Animus from the Associated Guests signing out. Have a good one. Sorry we didn't get to finish today, but I've gone off